Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 16521 Northeast Hoyt Street here in Portland. We're located off to the right of the front doorway. We have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. We're going to zero out the camera counter right here at the base of the cleanout. Here we go. Throughout the line here so far, and we'll have a better picture of it on the way out, but there's a pretty thick ledge on either side of the pipe where it looks like either the line is starting to wear, more than likely though it is just a lot of scale buildup. I do recommend a Hydrojet to clean that stuff out of here, and make sure the drain clean guys know why they're coming out to do that, and to get somebody who knows what they're doing. Sometimes you can jet a line and knock almost more scale loose than was there before, or at least was obscuring the flow line, so just keep that in mind, but I do recommend that be removed. And it's transitioning here to concrete pipe. Appears to be, this is basically a flush transition. This also appears to be 4-inch. And here at 52 feet, we have reached the main lateral connection. We're going to do locates to verify where this is at, and then we'll let the pipe drain out completely before rolling back in. Alright, located the camera head successfully out the main on Northeast Hoyt. Looks like the line kind of veers over towards the driveway, goes underneath that, and then heads out to the street. In case you're curious where the thing is routed to. We are all drained out at this point. We're going to go ahead and reel back in. Now the concrete pipe here is just starting to show a very slight amount of aggregate through. I only point that out just because concrete does slowly wear out over time. And eventually you'll have entire rock showing through, and at that point that's where I recommend. In this circumstance you could do an epoxy liner and not dig anything up. But if you're here long enough, it's worth keeping an eye on it. My best guess here is you've got at least another probably 15 to 20 years before that's necessary. It all has to do with how much flow is going down the line. So you could wear out faster than that, but it just all depends upon how much usage the line is getting. Now you see this lump here in the flow line my camera just went over right there. Now that's another example of scale buildup. Now this line has a lot of it in it. Normally you'll get some scale, but this has quite a bit. And the line is still functioning with the scale in there, so don't get me wrong, it is functioning, but it makes it more likely for things like, especially items that shouldn't be going down the line, like paper towels and tampons and things like that will snag even easier, because that scale is kind of rough and jagged. And there's a few, looks like, wipes here and there as well. Like right there. Now make sure this thing gets re-scoped. I would highly recommend having the drain clean guys do that right when they're here. Make sure that everything has been removed properly from the line. What you don't want is someone to run a jet through really quick, knock a bunch of scale loose, and then have that all sitting right in the flow line. And that does happen from time to time, so make sure you thoroughly clean this out. But like right here, you can see how thick this stuff is getting. It's a big old, you've about got a pipe within a pipe there that's forming. And the flow line here is looking really rough and wonky. It's not a nice half circle shape. There's a lot of bumps and lumps and stuff in it. So I'm hoping that that is just scale. Unfortunately, with cast iron pipe like this, unless that stuff is out of there, you cannot see what the actual pipe material looks like. So keep in mind, there is the potential that you could have worn out pipe underneath all that junk. But you won't be able to see it until it's jetted. But looking at the top of the pipe versus the bottom, like right here, my camera's up against a whole bunch of it. That's what we're scraping against right now on the sidewall there. But if you look up at the top, how smooth that stuff is up there, I'm thinking that once this is removed, you're going to have decent pipe on the other side of it. But there's no way to guarantee that, unfortunately. You can see how thick some of that stuff is in the flow line there. It'd be nice to get that removed so you have a nice smooth pipe bottom. So anyway, at this point we still have adequate flow to the main. We don't have so much debris built up in here that it's not functioning. It is functioning at this time, and for the most part, it's functioning properly. But with the scale in there, it does pose a higher risk for debris to hang up in the line and cause a potential clog. So given that we can't see underneath some of that scale there, I can't for 100% tell you how good that cast iron pipe is looking. But as far as I can tell, the pipe, both the cast iron and the concrete, are in good condition and have good flow. I would recommend jetting the line out to remove the scale. Make sure a rescope is done to ensure that it's all thoroughly been removed. But you'll have a much more improved flow at that point and a much less jagged, rough pipe for stuff to get hung up on. The line is functioning out this time.